One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Oh, that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com, one of our favorite sponsors, is back.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There is a new online resource for helping you find out all about venues before you go if you've never been before.
Pray tell.
It is called Venue Llama.
Venue Llama.
And just in case you didn't know, Llama has 2 L's. Llama tell you about it. It's an online resource that provides live music fans the insider venue info that you need, that you didn't know you needed, but you need it because you didn't know it. A place where fans can quickly rate venues and share venue tips and intel about those places. VenueLlama.com launches in late spring, but we're currently doing a sneak preview for No Simple Road listeners. Head over to VenueLlama.com/NSR. That's VenueLlama.com/NSR to check out the beta version and put your info in there. I know they need reviews for Red Rocks. And
They need reviews for a whole lot of stuff on their site now. They have the whole Widespread Panic tour with all the venues. They have the Fish tour with venues. They have
Goose,
Dead and Company and all the venues. So there's a lot of venues out there too.
So head over to VenueLlama.com/NSR now. Sign up and become a llama head. Yeah, do it.
Shop Tour Bus is No Simple Road's fantastic sponsor of Grateful Dead inspired merch. This is not what you normally see, the skulls, the Berthas, none of that. This is cute little funky pictures told in song.
Or
Songs.
they tell the story.
Tell the story of the song
Yeah.
in picture.
That's right.
And what do they do it on? They do it on hoodies. They do it on T-shirts. They do it on canvas bags. And they have stickers.
Don't
That's
forget
right.
the stickers and the patches.
Nope, stickers and patches. They got it all going on. And you too can get your awesome T-shirt mailed to you in a one-of-a-kind box. It's not just a box. It's actually got all kinds of goodies. Aaron?
Apple.
It's the coolest box. You don't know what you're going to get. You
Tell
get
us
it.
about the box.
Your shirt is like rolled up so tight and perfectly with this twine, and you get a picture. You get a pencil. Some people may get a special bootleg. Yes, a bootleg.
Real bootleg.
Yep, that's been passed around. And then there's going to be all kinds of tchotchkes, candies. You just don't know. So you got to order to find out. Also, they have their new tie-dyes. They just announced like 3 hours ago. Next week, they will be shipping the new wheel tie-dyes with the little bug on it. So act quick. These go fast.
Yeah, they do.
You don't want to be caught without one wearing that old booty shirt on the lot.
It will come to you for free shipping if you put in the promo code No Simple Road, all one word.
So make sure you put in the promo code No Simple Road, all one word. Go to shoptourbus.com or at shoptourbus on Instagram. Check out all the dope shit they got going on. you just got home from work and you're hungry and the family's hungry and you don't know what to make, and somebody says, what do you want to do? I'm going to give you the answer, because that's the toughest question of living on planet Earth right now, is what you want to eat. So I'm going to make it easy for you. If you live in Portland or you live in Denver, you're going to say, let's go to Fire on the Mountain. Why are you going to say that? Because they have the best damn food out there, and it's made with love and intention by other heads. 3 locations here in Portland, 2 locations in Denver. Here in Portland, they've got the Fire on the Mountain Brewing Company. They've got merch. Help me out, Apple.
They've got all their special. I was going to say you better take advantage. Today is the 28th. You only have a few days to take advantage of the April specials, which you just need to go check them out. And then they're going to have all new specials probably in May.
Yeah, if you want to check out the specials here in Portland, you go to FOTM PDX, and in Denver, FOTM Denver. And you can go to portlandwings.com and order yourself some of the sauces. If you're not in one of these locations, you can have a Fire on the Mountain, No Simple Road family, Grateful Dead-ish experience with chicken wings in your own house, and it'll be great. You could wear one of their hoodies or a hat or their
don't
socks.
forget to get some merch.
And if you're local, you can actually go to Market of Choice and go to the hot sauce department, and they have Fire on the Mountain on the shelf.
What?
If you don't want to wait.
Didn't know that.
That's
I
right.
didn't
I've even
either.
got a photo of it.
Boom.
So boom, guys, there you go. Fire on the Mountain.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for Season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple. Check it out. My mind is little squishy today.
I thought you said your mind was good today.
I mean, I'm a little baby bit squishy. I'm not as squishy as I normally am after traveling for a week and then going to fish three times, Hey now, No Simple Road family, this is Aaron.
And this is Mel. Sorry, I jumped
jam.
in. Yep.
That's okay. And this is Apple.
And Darwin.
I'm
sleeping over here on my bed.
Darwin is so happy to be back to work. We were gone for 6 days?
Yeah.
He has not been able to come down to the studio. And he was so ready to come down today, and he has finally arrived, and he's on his bed just chilling.
And you should be so ready for this episode with Mountain Grass Unit. We had Drury and Luke on, and let me tell you, this is the future of bluegrass right here. If you are a fan of that style of music, these dudes are up and coming, and I'm telling you that you're going to be seeing them all over the place. And it's just astounding to me, the level of talent at this age. I know I sound like an old man right now, but
you are an old man right now.
it's okay, right?
It's fine.
I'm supposed to sound
It's
how
fine.
I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
But
and this
go
is
ahead.
this is one of those ones with like being older, and you look, and it gives you hope for the future of music because damn, these guys jam.
Yeah.
And they're getting out there too. I just got to say it. They're going to be playing. This is just fun to say. The Wimmy Diddle Festival in Hamilton, Ohio on June 24th. And then they're going to be coming to our neck of the woods August 3rd through 6th for the Pickathon up here.
Heck
shit.
yeah.
Hell yeah. And then we're going to be seeing them at Peach too, right? Isn't that a thing?
Yes,
That is a
they are
thing?
going to be
That's
playing
happening?
at Peach also. Yes.
So yeah, man, if you get the opportunity, if these cats come through your town, don't stay home that night.
No, don't sleep on that.
You're going to be really amazed. I found out about them actually. Instagram introduced me to Luke first, and videos of him flat picking. I was just amazed. I was like, this dude is shredding. And then I found out that he was part of Mountain Grass Unit, started following them, and was like, holy shit, I'm seeing the future being born right now in front of me digitally on Instagram. And it's really dope when social media does what it's supposed to do instead of what it's not supposed to do, and introduces you to really cool stuff that changes your mind about things. And this is one of those instances where social media actually did its job.
I like here, I'm reading on their website, and it says music promoter Sam Masterson said this: they don't just play good for their age, they play good, period.
Yeah. I'm censoring myself right now and trying to not talk about how young they are and just talk about what great players they are.
Well, yeah, you don't have to mention that you're old or they're young either. You can just say that they're freaking amazing and go check them out. When people go see them and they see their youthful appearance, they're going to be like, holy cow.
And Drury's voice, let's talk about that for a minute. Like, to see that come out of him, I was like, oh my God, this dude is talented, man. And we were really, really stoked to have them on the show. I know you guys are going to really, really enjoy this episode. You want to?
And well, we had Drury and Luke, and Sam was not there, but hopefully we catch up with all them when we get to see them in person at the Peach Festival. Yeah, Sam plays upright bass, and these guys have a sound that's just amazing. I mean, this is a trio, and it sounds like much more than three dudes up on stage.
Yep. So everybody, we're gonna do this quick this week. We're gonna do the business, and then we're gonna get you to the interview because my brain is about to fall out my ear, and we don't want that to happen. It'll go inside the can of my headphone, and
that would be weird. Darwin might eat it, think it was a little treat.
Why would it be little, Apple?
All right, well, if it falls out your ear, I mean, yeah.
All right. Anyway, follow No Simple Road at No Simple Road on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Go to www.nosimpleroad.com. You can get a tarot reading with us. You can get No Simple Road merch. You could sign up for our newsletter, which comes out whenever I get a wild hair at my ass and decide to send out a newsletter. Help me out, Mel. What else?
You can also call 971-808-1524. That way you can be part of the No Simple Road Tepid line, a.k.a. John B. line.
Yes.
And you can sit there and give us a recipe. You can give us a review of the show you just went to. You can be like, hey, guys, I just wanted to say what's up. That's all I need to say. Bye. Click. And that would be super cute and fun. Also, you can go to Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star rating.
We would really appreciate that.
We would so appreciate that. And you can give us a little review and be like, hey, No Simple Road is super fun. This is a great show. Boom. Or I love it. Boom. Anything.
Well, here, I'll give you 2 examples of reviews if you'd like.
We got 2
April.
new ones?
I'm not sure if we'd done this one yet, but we'll just do it again. But there is a new one.
Okay.
April 3rd. My nightly routine now, 5 stars. These guys are part of my life as I listen to them twice a week. Keep up the great work. Chris Wood.
All right, Chris.
And
Thank
then
you.
April 18th.
Ooh.
So good.
Aw.
5 stars. I absolutely love this podcast. Super interesting and entertaining from Tough Guitar.
Oh, thanks,
Ooh,
man.
Thank you, Tough Guitar. You sweetheart. You
That leads us to the next thing, actually.
Well, that's right. Patreon. So Tough Guitars was recently on Patreon with me and our producer, Corey. We did about an hour interview, and Tough Guitar is an incredible guitarist. He's also a guitar teacher. He's just finishing up his degree in North Carolina and moving back to Boston. And that's all I can say about it. Because if you want to hear the rest of the interview with this incredible musician, you're going to have to go to Patreon.
And sign up for you could sign up for $1
That's
a month.
right.
You're going to get side roads. You're going to get, for $5 a month, you get access to the Discord server, and you get access for $1 or more a month to all the side roads. Plus, you get ad-free early release of every No Simple Road episode.
That's right. So if you don't want to hear us talking about, our awesome sponsors, fine. Then sign up for Patreon and you get the full episode a week early.
And I also really don't edit those episodes, so you get to hear all like the behind the scenes screw ups and us babbling before the
So you may
interview.
like that or you may not like that, but it's raw.
And if you're a Patreon subscriber, you already know about our awesome sponsors who we fully support, and you know how to get to them and get all that cool stuff.
That's right.
So that is how you get engaged with the No Simple Road family and send a little love, energy, and intention back our way is through Patreon. It's a weird world we live in, and you know what? Creating content and putting it out for free is a very strange thing to do. That is antithetical to everything that this country was built on, but we're doing it every week, and we do it twice a week. And so you guys signing
Sometimes
up on...
we even drop in a third episode.
That's true. So you guys signing up on Patreon is like you giving a little bit of energetic love back our way in the form of dollars and cents that helps us keep doing what we love to do and entertain you guys and talk to these amazing musicians and introduce you to new stuff and
bring you therapy sessions. I mean, I'm not for nothing, but sometimes these episodes go deep, whether it's just with the three of us or whether it's with the musicians or artists that we have on. And I've heard so many people say that it is like a therapy session. So, hey, why not?
Yeah, we don't hold back. We like to get personal. We share
laugh,
a lot of
we
details.
cry.
Yeah, we get emotional.
we kiss your ass goodbye. No.
Yeah.
Also, coming on Monday, we just spent a week in California and going and seeing Fish in Seattle and at the Hollywood Bowl. So we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
And so this Monday's episode is going to be a doozy. So please tune into that, and you'll get the full trip report of
what we can remember.
Why my brain is about to come out my ear.
Fish, Skull and Roses, where we had a lot going on.
And Mel and I
for
are
6
about to
days.
leave right now after this to go see Goose and Eugene. Let's do it again, babe.
Let's do it, baby.
All right.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have a super blast. I would be going, but I have a 2 days to recover to go to 4 days down in Fresno for my nephew's wedding.
Fresno. Nobody goes
Yeah,
to Fresno.
my little nephew's getting married. It's so cute.
Whoop-de-woo.
All right. No Simple Road is busy again, man. That's all I have to say. Winter is definitely over.
Busy.
And we are excited to introduce you to Drury and Luke from Mountain Grass Unit. So let's get it on. You ready?
Ready?
Without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Mountain Grass Unit.
Well, corn, pay the man above me. How much so will this mule plow? My crippled body takes a beating. I'll be paid in this cold northern ground. My family provided to this living. Christ put a roof above my head. I gave every penny that I worked for to those yuck bastards way across the town. City man takes every single dollar, and I'm tied to a ball and chain. Well, I'm going to town to sense it all out. I can see if I can get their bell to ring. get the truth right out of you. City man takes every single dollar, and I'm tied to a ball and chain. Well, I'm going to town to see it all out. I can see if I can get their bell to ring. Every single dollar, and I'm tied to a ball and chain. Well, I'm going to town to see it all out. I can see if I can get their bell to ring. Said I'm going to town to see it all out. I can see if I can get their bell to ring.
What's up, gentlemen? What's going on?
Howdy.
Oh,
There we go. We can hear
What's up,
you
guys.
Howdy,
you
guys.
are real people. You're not just Instagram bots.
Yeah,
We are. Y'all are too.
right?
What's happening, man? I'm Aaron.
Hey, Aaron. You're the one I've been talking
Yeah,
Oh.
dude. Thank you for working this out with me, man.
to. Oh, man.
It's
Likewise.
shit's crazy.
Yeah. And I'm Mel, guys. Nice to meet you.
Hi. Good to meet you.
And then I'm the third member. I'm Apple.
Nice to meet you.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you for being with us.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Go ahead and introduce yourselves to the folks that are listening.
Well, I'm Drury Anderson, and
I'm Luke Black.
You guys are the two of the Mountain Grass unit, correct?
collectively, yes, with our bass player Sam Wilson, we are the Mountain Grass unit.
Okay.
We're up here in Boston right now, doing school at Berkeley, and Sam is down at Alabama, where we're originally from. We're all from Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay. So before we get into the music stuff, I want to know, Luke, what's your favorite pizza topping?
Oh gosh, I love any sort of meat lovers pizza is my favorite.
Okay. All right. Drury, what about you?
Oh, this might be controversial, but I'm a Hawaiian pizza guy.
Hey,
Yes.
it's okay. It's all right.
Okay, we got all right.
It's
I
cool.
love
Glad
it.
to hear it.
Yeah. No, you know
Yeah.
what? It's important to be different and don't let people give you shit.
Yeah, I can't. It's too good. It's too good. Let that be taken. I'll even do it with ranch. I'm crazy.
What? Oh my God. All right. You went deep into the
Yeah.
alternate pizza universe.
That's perfect. You got the sweet, savory, you got everything going on there.
Yeah.
I agree. Pineapple does belong on pizza.
Oh,
It does.
Jesus. We're
It
going to
does.
get killed
It's
for
done
this episode.
Oh,
Guys,
Love it.
I have to say that collectively we are extremely impressed.
Yeah. What
Uh,
great talent you are.
Holy shit, you guys. How old are you?
I'm 20.
I'm 19.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's.
So you're like what, first year out of like Berkeley School of Music, like, or into it? This is your first.
Yeah, so I've done a whole year.
Okay.
And then this is his first year.
Yeah, this is my first year, second semester.
How is it?
Yeah.
Berkeley's awesome.
It's great.
a
Yeah.
lot of work, but it's really fun. Being
Well-
around all sorts of musicians is like crazy.
What kind of hard work is it?
Just a lot of like, well, to sort of think about it in like you have regular school that you went through all these years and
Yeah.
sort of trained for, and it kind of seems like you just threw it out the window and learned something new, you know?
Oh,
So it's
shit.
like, it's just like this new like theory, and training your ear and learning this new stuff is just like, it's a change, you know?
One of the things that's pretty big for me is we're in all these different ensembles that are playing different gigs. Like I'm playing like a trio gig with this fiddle player and banjo player this weekend in Vermont, and I've been having to learn all this really complex like acoustic music that I've never really tried doing before, more on like the jazz side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just having to learn all these new songs and everything is a lot of work on top of the schoolwork.
So it's definitely pushing you out of your comfort zone and out of your style too, right?
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's no limit to what style you're gonna do here at Berkeley. You're gonna do things that you haven't done before, stylistically,
Yeah, I guess that's kind of part of the deal is being around other musicians and different talent levels and doing stuff that you've never done before creates an atmosphere that pushes you further in the talent that you already had when you guys got there. It's making it more.
I couldn't agree more. I think that it's what Berkeley is about, besides just the academic side of it, is like being around people that are better than you,
Mm-hmm.
are better than you, and display that really well, and kind of make you go home and sit there and be like, man, I got to practice. I got to work on this. And it's not even discouraging. It's just like, it's almost like relieving, like knowing, okay, well, I've learned this new thing from someone I just witnessed.
Wait, what to me is amazing. I'm wondering something, because the talent that you guys like go there with already, I was like reading up on you guys. You guys both of you like picked out your first instruments in like first grade, right?
Yeah.
And started playing at about that age up till now. Is it common? Have you met a lot of people like that going to Berkeley, like playing their entire lives, then taking it to Berkeley to up their game?
Pretty much, yeah. We've met a bunch of long-time musicians or people who've been playing like even since they've been like, before they can talk. Like it's their first language is music.
Wow.
So I wonder, with all that influence, how do you determine what you like to play? If there's like, you could do anything, like you said, stylistically, anything you want. How do you determine what you want to play in personally?
I feel like there's certain things that you're kind of required to like learn here at Berkeley.
Mm-hmm.
But I had one teacher, Kevin Barry is one of my guitar teachers. And he's like, man, learn the stuff that you want to learn. Like do what speaks to you, because that's the stuff that's going to stick with you and actually help you grow as a musician.
Wow. That really is great advice.
Has it always been bluegrass for you guys?
Yeah. I mean, we had a good stint of rock and roll jamming and stuff like that.
I definitely wasn't raised on bluegrass at all.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, listened to a lot of like when I first started playing guitar, it was mainly electric, and I was just really into Hendrix, like any other guitar player, like Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Same.
Yeah.
People like that.
Yeah. What gave you the bluegrass bug?
Well, I went to the music store and I chose to play the banjo kind of like as a joke, but then I kind of fell in love with like the sound of it. And I think like the first song I really got under my fingers was Foggy Mountain Breakdown. And that one kind of, boosted the bluegrass. Then Drury started playing mandolin and learned songs together.
So you've always had a bluegrass partner?
Pretty much.
Yeah, we picked a good bit when we were both starting out. And that was actually a pretty big influence in why I started playing, was because Luke was playing. But it wasn't really till probably like when we were, ending elementary school, getting into junior high years, that like we really started getting serious about like what we wanted to do with it. And we started, going to each other's houses more and bringing our instruments and playing and things like that. And we just, our catalog, we take songs in and make songs, and over time it's just evolved into this set that we never really sat down and said, okay, we're going to learn all these songs. It's just over the years, they've all just come, and we bring stuff back and we drop stuff, and
Now, I'm curious too, what both of you, beyond your playing, are amazing singers.
Yeah.
Have you been singing since a young age, or is that something that like required lessons, or where?
I feel like when we both started kind of at the beginning, like we were like making original music. We've always loved just creating like our own songs and stuff.
Right on.
We were kind of just like, well, one of us has got to like take the main singing part. We both tried, and I just kind of, I didn't like it, man. So kind of put all the pressure on Drury.
Hey, man, why don't you handle this?
I think it was one, we were walking into this, I remember going to this Mexican restaurant in Birmingham. It was called Pablo's, and I was like, hey, we'd love to get a gig here. And I showed some of the stuff, and they're like, well, you know, you got to sing. Y'all have to have a singer, you know? So we figured out how to do that and go about that. And one thing that we've really been working on as far as Mountain Grass unit goes is just our harmonies. Together with Sam, all three of us, we really tried to get our harmonies on songs tight.
Drury, your voice is absolutely fucking incredible.
It's
man.
Captivating. Very,
Thank you very much.
dude,
and it's strong.
Very strong.
The first time I saw you sing, I was like, "Are you what? Are you kidding me?" Like, when you realize you can do that, is that like the best feeling in the world to let that out?
I love singing. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Wow.
And you know, as far as the stage context goes, I gotta have instrument in my hand. We joke about this. Is like you gotta have the shelter of an instrument in front of you in order to sing on stage
to feel safe.
I
totally get it.
Safe zone.
You're just like holding the microphone.
Yeah, what do you do? You just dance around or whatever? So yeah, we that definitely was a key factor. I had to have an instrument with me. But one of my favorite things to do, like as far as when I'm not playing, is, you know, just driving around and harmonizing the songs in my car or singing the songs in my car.
The harmonies are really important. And,
especially in bluegrass.
And it's such a wonderful way to get other people involved as well. Because when you hear people singing in harmony, you want to join in. And what it does to your ear and to your spirit, it's such a like hallmark of bluegrass. And you guys do such a great job of it. Is that, as far as like the singing part, I know that you have taken it on, Drury, but Luke, do you see yourself stepping up more as the band gets older in time and, you know, kind of taking more lead? Not over, but you know what I mean? Like just kind of.
Yeah.
And whatever you say, Drury's going to hold you to it. So go ahead.
I hope so. I won't say it's got good voice.
You need a break.
Yeah, I mean, you are singing like 25 songs sometimes, these long gigs just back to back. I mean, I'd definitely step up for a song. It's not going to be like the best, but that's definitely something I'm looking forward to doing in the future.
Yeah.
But as far as the 3-part harmony goes, we've been really working on getting that really solid and tight, and like dynamic wise, volume wise, just to get it really powerful, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
go ahead.
I was just going to say Sam's story is kind of amazing too, because he didn't start at a young age, right? You taught him bass.
I showed him how to play bass with some rock band I was playing with, and ever since then we kind of played in that rock band for a while, and then we convinced him. He got an upright bass from one of his dad's friends.
Yeah, it was one of his dad's friends or something.
And I was like, dude, you gotta start playing this thing. So we taught him like a couple fiddle tunes, and he just kind of has been teaching himself how to play upright bass ever since.
And he's amazing.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And
He attacks that thing. Just.
Yeah. He gets a lot of inspiration, or we kind of all do, from like rap music. As far as the bass goes, Sam's got some pretty dirty lines.
He's very thankfully particular about his bass tone, and if that thing doesn't sound like, you know, a sub going through the speakers, you know,
he's not about it.
Not about it. And it's funny, sometimes we'll like talk about the venues, and I'll be like, oh yeah, okay, that was the place that had the really good bass. Yeah, I'll take. Yeah, I'm cool. Mark that down. You know.
Okay.
But, he's got this high. He can sing these high harmonies, and he's sometimes hesitant about like what he can do. And then we'll be at a gig, and he'll just be like, "Oh hell, I'll throw it in," you know. And every time, I mean, he's on it.
He can hit some high notes for a bass player. Man, he can sing.
Oh shit!
Wow.
We were watching your is it called 2-track?
Yeah.
We were watching the 2-track a little while ago, and watching you do Turmoil and Tinfoil, and I was standing there watching you guys play, and I was like, holy shit, these guys are giving me fucking chills, man. Like, it occurred to me as I was watching you, you're really fortunate, man, to be doing what you're doing right now, because where we're at in time, as far as like music is concerned, there's this huge surge of bluegrass music that's happening right now. So for you guys to be as talented as you are, going to school to hone your craft and playing the way you do right now, I mean, it's like the stage is set for you guys to just take off. You know, do you feel that? Do you feel the momentum behind you and the bluegrass scene, the wider scene?
You know, when we first got started doing what we were doing, we weren't familiar with the jam grass scene, the Billy Strings, the String Cheese, the infamous String Dusters, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And over time, when we got into them, we started realizing that there really is a crowd for this sort of music. And people, you know, I don't even know if they come for us when they come to our gigs. I think they come more for like the songs, you know, because when we'll play a standard or, you know, more traditional song, like, you know, Big Spike Hammer, and it's just got a good chorus that has strong harmonies, you know, and people just, I think in this environment don't really know like how to look for it. But then when they get it, like, wow, like this is just amazing, you know?
Yeah.
Bluegrass is awesome.
It's cool that you're picking up on that, because, you know, there is definitely a scene attached to that kind of music, and they're being in that space. There's something so special about it. There's like so welcoming and family oriented and friendly and fun. And so to be able to like add your little sauce to that and grow with it, because it is still growing. It's like you mentioned, all those bands, like they've been in it for a while, but they're still like, you know, their trajectory is still a lot higher. So it's kind of fun to see you in at the ground floor. What does it feel like so far? Like, I mean, it might feel just normal, but you know, a little description of what it feels like to be getting, you know, kind of known and heard and your name's out there.
It's definitely really exciting. Like, especially after last summer, we started our tour and we organized this whole tour by ourselves. It was like kind of a small tour with like some smaller venues, but after like seeing all the results and everything, like people showing up, people singing along to like original music, that is like the best feeling ever.
It was nuts. It was crazy. We went down to, I don't know if y'all are familiar with the Red Bar in 30A in Florida. It's a little spot, and it's a small little spot, but you know, it has some history. It's a popular spot around that area. But I mean, it was just this one night in the summer in July, and people came, and I was just like watching all these people calling for our songs, you know, requesting our songs and singing along and dancing. And it's just like, this is what it's about. I mean, same with Charleston.
Charleston was the most recent one, and that was incredible.
It was insane.
And do you feel like they're finding you from Instagram or like, you know, social media, or is this something that like you guys have a following because you're in Berkeley, or like how are you guys getting it at such a young time in your career?
I feel like our social media presence is pretty good, and a bunch of people find us through that.
Yeah.
And then word of mouth, like that, the jam band community is just, they're the best.
We got you.
True. Well, that's what we're doing right now. You know, we're letting our people know that you guys there's something to watch for. And if you're coming around our town, go check them out. Cause I mean, I can't wait to see you guys live. I am excited to see what you guys do.
And I can kind of answer your question for them too. I mean, I found out about them through Instagram, and I found out about them separate, independent of each other. I didn't know you guys were in a band together.
Oh, that's awesome.
And was following both of you. And then, and then I saw Mountain Grass, and I was like, that guy looks wait a minute. Oh shit, that's them. And maybe I don't know, 3 or 4 months after that, Jack McGrain from Bodhi Mojo was like, you need to get these guys on the show. I was like, I know who they are,
Wait a
man.
minute. How does Jack come into the picture?
Jack sent us a message to get in his. He has a series called Shine on the Mountain.
Oh yeah.
And he does it for this lady who goes under the Instagram tag Karen the Dancing Lady.
We know Karen well.
know Karen.
I'm so excited about the story.
Y'all know Karen. So I just met them through social media, and Jack did just a amazing job on doing a video for us. And he just let me know. He's like, man, I'd love to get y'all on the No Simple Road podcast. You know, I know those guys, and I've actually heard of y'all's show through Aaron's picks. You know, I've listened to his stuff.
Okay, cool.
I was scrolling through y'all's catalog and looking at like all the people that have been on here, and I mean, it's an absolute honor to be on here today.
You guys, man, for us too, it's a trip. I'll be honest, like 2018 or was it 19? The String Summit, the first one.
The first one was 18
that we went to.
Oh wait, no, 19.
Okay.
You're right. Yeah,
2019,
and then
there's a big music
happened.
festival up here that happened last year. Was the last one. They stopped doing it, but it was called Northwest String Summit, and everybody plays this thing. Like everybody you can imagine in the bluegrass community plays this. And we went in 2019, and my world of bluegrass was basically Old and in the Way and Garcia, and that was basically it for me. And I got my mind blown at this festival and was like, this music is amazing, and started picking. And we went back this last year, and like I said, it was the final one. And to see, even like through the pandemic, with everything shut down, the musical growth of the bands that played and just how big of a sound they all brought. For me, it's the most real kind of music. You're up there with wood and wire, and that's it. There's, I mean, you can put effects on your stuff, but for the most part, it's wood and wire and your vibrating strings and your voices, and that's it. And it seemed old to me, and I don't mean that like in any kind of negative kind of a way. I mean it like only older cats would be into this kind of music. This was my mindset for the longest time. And I'm curious, like, for you guys, especially now with bands like the Dusters and Green Sky and, String Cheese and Billy Strings.
Dwellers, yeah.
The Kitchen Dwellers. Where do you see yourselves fitting in the wider bluegrass community? As far as like, are you guys going for like a strictly traditional bluegrass thing? Or are you feeling like you're more in the jamgrass world, or where you see yourselves fitting?
Man, that's kind of a hard question. I guess, I don't know. Definitely, we're really jammy. We like jams, but we like jams that are kind of like more structured and like build and kind of just hit,
Yeah.
Sometimes the spacey jams, we like doing spacey jams a lot, but sometimes I feel like our audience doesn't react to it as well as they do when we do some, big build up, kind of like more metalish.
Yeah,
I get it.
Okay,
I got you. Yeah,
We a lot of that influence, like we said, rap music. People these days, their ears are, including us, are like acclimated to hearing like a build up.
Yes.
Everything's based around a build up,
tension and release,
in layers. So you're just layering on everything until you hit that point where everyone's head banging and getting down to the music. And so I think that's sort of what we try to go for most of the time. We jam and we have cool space jams and funk jams and things like that. But every once in a while, we just like to just open up the gates and
I saw that watching you. I've been watching like everything on YouTube over your today. I was watching. You know how to play a crowd, like you know how to read your audience. Because one I put on today, you guys were jamming, but I could only watch like 20 minutes. It was in the Irish pub,
Oh yeah.
And everybody was so loud. I almost like yelled at the TV, like, shut up. I'm trying to listen to the music. But you guys pulled out the Alice in Chains Nutshell. Like you like kind of played to that kind of rowdier crowd, and they seemed quite rowdy. And then like some of your other performances are right along there, like traditional, like up on the stage, kind of like a little side festival stage or something. Just a compliment. You guys play the crowd well. And making it through that Irish guy, I'm wondering how that would, when you're playing in a place like that where everybody is basically there, it seems like to be drinking and yelling. How do you play through that?
That's a hoot nanny.
We are sweating by the end of like the third song. Like I'm putting everything I got into my guitar when I'm playing for like a rowdy crowd like that. It's just the energy is so strong, and like the build-ups. I feel like we hit like our max volume, but somehow in the next song it just gets a little bit more.
It's crazy. So like we have to plan out how we want to do our set, because our last song has got to be the one that's just like burning, and by the time we're panning by the end of it,
yeah,
but
you want more.
Yeah. To answer the question though about how the crowd and that sort of thing, I don't know how to speak for all of us, but I think I do when I say like we like a really rowdy crowd. Like it works,
You dig that, huh?
It helps bring you guys up.
It depends for me. I feel like sometimes I don't know, just different crowds make me play different. Like if there's a crowd that's sitting there intently watching me, I feel like I play really clean and really melodically, and sometimes when I'm playing for a more rowdy crowd, I'll play a lot more dirty bluesy licks, but I'll be a little bit more sloppy.
Oh,
okay, all right.
I guess it allows for that. It's like, well, they're being loud and sloppy. I'm going to match that. I want to match that, man.
I guess it does, yeah. And I agree with that for sure. It just depends on if the videos. Shout out to I'm a Patriot 205. Scott Phillips is the guy that comes to our shows for free, goodness of his heart.
Aww.
Sets up his camera and his tape equipment and just records our shows. But, those things vary from like we had the Innisfree pub to the public library. We did, we did there. And, so it really depends on the audience. And we try to craft our set to what will fit the vibe.
Is it tough now that you're going to school full time and doing that? Is it tough to go out and gig with all the work that you got to do for school?
I feel like part of school, now that like I'm technically like a musician in school, and that's what I'm doing school for, is being a musician. I feel like that's part of my job as a student, and like, making good grades also means playing gigs and making, money on the side so I can afford to do this.
Wow.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
That is a very mature perspective. Because that is definitely what you should do, but that's not everybody's thought. You know what I mean? Like some people are like, nope, I'm going to be super focused. I'm going to concentrate on school. I'm going to learn what I need to,
That's part of the thing.
But yeah, so what I was going to ask earlier was like, aside from like the part of being a musician where you literally go on stage and you're performing and you're doing your craft, what about the other part about being a musician, about the traveling and all the things in between, the booking and the networking that you have to actually do, those relationships? Like, what do you feel about that part of it? Do you like it? Is it worth it? Like,
what is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic is incredible.
Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil story made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
Well, there's this lady at the Charleston poorhouse who was just like, hey guys, she sent us an email like, I've got an Airbnb, get me a t-shirt and a poster and I will set y'all up for free for the night. And she had no idea that we were like looking for a place to stay.
Not only that too, we had like 4 friends from our high school, like kids our age, come up. They're just like, hey, man, we'll drive all the way to Charleston from Birmingham with y'all. We'll sell your merch for free as long as you like get us in, and man, it's just like our community is amazing.
Wow. Guys, that's what I was talking about the community.
Definitely worth it.
There's something about, I'm going to just say the overall music community, because it's not only one community. When people love what you're doing and they appreciate, they want to support you. And so to have you starting out young, knowing you don't have a ton of money for like rooms, or knowing that you don't have a bunch of manpower to sell your merch, but it's important. That is some of the best blessings that you can get on the road, is those kinds of a good night's sleep, like a free meal. Like that is really cool to hear that that's what's going on the road for y'all.
As of right now, this summer is going to be a rude awakening. We're doing some pretty hardcore traveling and might have to take a little bit more risk.
All right, so I'll ask you that question at the end of the summer.
Ask us.
Do you have like a big tour coming, or is there like festival stuff that you guys are playing, or anything like that? Anything you can talk about?
Yeah, I think what we can talk about now, right? So far, what we booked and announced is in April, on April 1st, we are going to do Mental Awakening Fest. That's going to be at Steady Hand Brewing Company in Atlanta.
Dope.
And I don't know specific dates for these. I'm going to have to check, but we are doing Floyd Fest in Floyd, Virginia.
Oh, wow.
Right
We'll be
on.
doing Peach Fest in Scranton. And
we'll see you there.
We're going to be there. Yes.
Oh, sweet. Glad to hear. And I'm also going to do Pickathon in Portland.
Okay. That's where we're at.
All right.
We're in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, okay.
Here's the deal. We're going to be podcasting from Peach, right? And they had, when we got booked this year for it, when we were talking to them, they want us to talk to up and coming artists at the festival. Would you guys be down to come hang out with us?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
When we're done, I'll send you like my phone number and all that so we can stay in touch. But that would be so cool to talk to you guys there, man.
The Peach is amazing.
And when you come to Portland, if you guys need a place to stay, you got a place to stay here too.
Pickathon.
We got
in
a
Happy
big
Valley in August.
Yeah, it's over in Happy. We got a big comfy house. We love to cook. Like we make you guys very comfortable if you need a place to stay when you're out here.
We got you.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thanks,
man.
guys.
So, Luke, I don't want to hone in on like the speed of your playing. I know that that's not everything, but my God, man, what?
He was freaking out when you first found him. I remember that a while back. He came to me and was showing me, and I remember this because he was showing you me both separately, like how he said he found you, and I was just blown away. Like we're standing there, like mouth open, just like, what?
Do you know who Jake Eddy is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you see the post he made recently where people were like giving him shit, saying that he speeds up his
Yeah.
I actually, when I first time I saw you, I was like, there's no way that a human being's fingers can move that fast and know what they're doing.
Jake Eddy is insane.
Yeah, Jake's nuts. But because I got you here, I want to know, like, was that something that you set out intentionally to do? Were you like, I want to be fast?
I guess so. I mean, for me, it's like when playing fast, I feel like there's a lot of people out there who say that like playing fast, you can't sound melodic. You're just kind of just throwing notes out there. But I feel like, especially starting off on the banjo, where you're just doing really fast rolls the whole time, really syncopated rhythms, just like to the beat.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when I play fast, I can kind of make phrases that are more melodic than sometimes when I play slow.
Oh, wow.
It's just strange, but that's just kind of how it works in my mind.
How have you built that skill?
It's like a steady, sometimes when I'm just playing like just straight up a fiddle tune, steady eighth notes the whole time, digga, 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 digga.
Mhm.
You can add different layers of rhythms on top of that. So like you can throw triplets on top of those.
Yeah.
And so it just makes the level of syncopation go higher, and
Okay.
faster.
Do you think the banjo playing helped you with that because of the rolls?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
I use the banjo has 3 of the same strings that a guitar has. And so I can kind of see those shapes on the banjo and I can use them on guitar. And also I do a bunch of hybrid picking where I'm holding my pick and then using my fingers at the same time. And that's a technique.
I've been messing around with the guitar for, I don't even know,
His whole life.
my whole life.
But it wasn't your goal. It was his
Yeah,
goal.
it just blows my mind. Like, there's people that can sit and practice all day long for 20 years and not be able to do what you do, man. And it's a gift, Luke. It's for real. That's a gift. And it's really cool that, that you guys are sharing that with us. You know what I mean? Like, as good as you guys feel when you're on stage is as good as the crowd is feeling from hearing the music. And I think that's what you guys are responding to up there. That feeling that's coming from a rowdy crowd is that thing of people getting off on that. And has it been your whole life that you wanted to do this for both of you?
For sure. It's definitely been a dream of mine to be playing, and the feeling I get from playing, especially with like this group, is just like, it's unreal. I feel like, and
I agree too. I think it was, for me personally, probably the last probably 3 years, these past 3 years, and this year especially, knowing that my path forward only involves what I love doing is like, It's so exciting. It's just one of the best feelings in the world, knowing that just like people are coming to listen to our music and we get the pleasure of just playing for people and getting reactions and improving our playing and, getting experience on the road. And it is a blessing. It is a blessing.
It's that kind of outlook that'll keep you young and happy the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like when you have that kind of outlook where you're excited about life instead of it's
A drag.
Yeah. Or something that you gotta get through or gotta do. I think what Berklee's also doing is it's teaching you that you can love what you do and make a living. It seems to me as if, like, because you just said a minute ago, Luke, like you feel like it's your job. Like, I'm sure they didn't tell you that, but you feel that it's instilled in you somehow through the lessons and what your love is and your talent. And that is at 20 years old and at 19 years old to have that kind of like forethought and outlook. You guys are really doing something right.
Yeah, I can't even tell you
mentally,
what I was doing at 19.
like just mentally, clearly with your actions as well. But like that is really, it's special. It's really special, guys.
I'm curious how your parents feel about all this.
That's what I was going to ask. That the folks, obviously, they're behind you.
Yeah. As far as that goes, like we've been sort of set up in that sense. I think I speak for all of us and I say all of our parents have been supportive and, knowing that this is what we want to do. And I think over time and through, our schooling days and playing together, we've sort of proven the point that this is something that we actually do want to do, and it's not just something just out of the sky.
Yeah, I feel like they haven't pushed us to do anything, or they haven't like not wanted us to do anything. Like choosing to go to college was like completely on me, But after I chose to go to Berkeley, my dad's like, that was the best decision you've ever made.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
You know what, man? I come from a generation where if you said you wanted to be a musician to your parents, you got one of two reactions. One was you're out of your fucking mind. It's never going to happen. Go work construction. And the other one was, oh, that's cute. Make sure that you have something to fall back on.
Backup plan.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think that now you guys are really, really fortunate to have parents that are like, no, I mean, I can imagine being the parent of somebody that has that kind of talent, and you wouldn't tell them find something to fall back on.
No, you know what the advice would be now is diversify the income stream. That's the important part that I would tell you as a parent and as an elder. Like, of course, pursue your music, but also pursue other ways of making money and spend time, like learn how to invest, like make that like a little crash course that you got to, you know, spend time on. Cause that way you can fuel your own dream. You know, if you're a musician and you have no worry about anything monetary because something is coming in for you, the amount of freedom you have in your playing is going to be uncapped.
I have a feeling these guys aren't going to have to worry.
No, I just mean it like, well, this is why I say this, guys. We just did an interview not over the weekend with this band, a French band called the Inspector Clouseau. And it's a 2-man band, a drummer and a guitarist, and they are farmers first and rock musicians second.
They're so badass.
They're so organic that they refuse any labels. They don't take any labels from any governmental anything. They are, they're so dope. These guys
produce everything. They do everything themselves.
Yeah, they rock harder than anybody. Like and also they're like so soft in certain parts. They're just amazing. But they realize by traveling and seeing like the globalization and the problem of the planet, not just of one country, but just like the global issue. And they wanted to do something in their own hometown so that it wouldn't look like that where they were, so that they'd be doing something and feeding their neighborhood and their local economy. And they started this awesome farm and they learned everything from one of the guy's grandfathers. And so they fund all of their own stuff. They're their own booking agents. They have their own label. They like do everything. And like
Sam wouldn't like the label.
Well, yeah,
their label that is called "Fuck the Bass Player" because he left the band. It's funny,
but the point is that there's this when you have a bit of financial freedom and you're not only putting your eggs in one basket. You are able to free up your creativity in ways that you never even thought possible, you know? And when you're an artist, that is invaluable to have like utmost freedom of like creativity.
Tell them the name of the documentary. You guys being students and everything.
Yeah, actually you guys should really watch 31 minutes will totally change your life.
It's called Rock Farmers.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, check it out. It's super cool. And I would imagine what Mel's talking about, like that freedom to not have to worry about money so much, is kind of what being at Berklee is like for you guys. Like you're not having to worry about all that. All you have to do is focus on your craft right now.
Yeah, you know, this is a place where you can really just spend your time playing music. You're spot on with that one.
It's definitely something that I feel like we all have in the back of our minds, though, like different ways of getting income and, you know, other than just like playing a gig. I feel like we're really good about thinking that, and like individually too, like different ways, like maybe teaching lessons on the side or.
Yes.
And Sam is actually working to get his accounting degree. So.
Oh, shit.
That's going to be so valuable for you guys.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
it's going to be good. He's going to show us how that stuff works.
You're on a good trajectory.
Is there any misconceptions that you had that were blown up before you came to school, and then after, like you thought it was going to be one way and it's totally not like that?
Well, when I was first looking at Berklee, this is probably like, I'd say 3 years ago, it was sort of in just the back of my mind. Like I knew when I first found out about Berklee, I just assumed that they didn't have a mandolin program and they didn't do bluegrass. I just sort of made that assumption. I was like, oh, this, if I go to Berkeley, it'll be cool. But, I'm playing jazz and I'm playing all this stuff, I'm playing academic music.
Right.
And bluegrass is incredibly academic if you, think about it. And I mean, there's all sorts of ways. Bluegrass and acoustic music is just basically from the start is just the instruments that you're playing, So you still have this whole selection of what you can play on those instruments, and it's just not the case, So and when I came to Berkeley and when Luke came to Berkeley, we figured out that there's a huge roots music scene here at the school.
And it's crazy because like back at home, the people we play with there, it's like me, Sam, Drury, a few other like kids around that area, and then everyone else is like, ranging from like 20 years old to like 70 years old. And then here it's like everyone our age is playing the type of music we like, different variations of the music we like. Like we're big bluegrass traditional guys. There's a bunch of like Irish music and old time Celtic music and stuff like that. It's kind of trickling into like our influences.
Wow, that's so cool.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What a fusion.
There's a
the Chieftains.
Yeah, the Owsley Stanley Foundation, they put out like they have all these reels that Owsley recorded when he was working with the Dead, and but it's like all different kinds of music, man. It's all over the place. Like
Johnny Cash and
and one of them is the Chieftains. And do you guys know who they are?
Yeah. The Chieftains.
And I didn't know that that was the roots of bluegrass, was that music coming to America and then expressed through the American as that. I'd never known that before. And now hearing that music, I'm like, oh, it totally makes sense. And to what you just said, Drury, it learning a fiddle tune, when you slow a fiddle tune down, that's classical music as far as I'm concerned. You're learning classical music. It totally sounds like that. It's when you speed it up and you put the rhythms behind it, now you got bluegrass.
I mean, I completely agree. Yeah. And I think to bring that even further, innovators like David Grisman and Tony Rice and, Bela Fleck and Jerry Douglas, and the list goes on, those guys, it's like this invention of like, heaven forbid, Jerry Garcia, people that just brought like this music to the table and put their own spin on it is what is so cool. And it's complex,
Totally.
It's thick stuff.
There's so many different flavors of bluegrass out there.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
it's a thick stew.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I didn't even know the difference between like jamgrass and traditional bluegrass and, any of it. I didn't know any of that stuff. And then kind of digging in a little bit, you're right. There's, trash grass and cosmic grass,
psych grass.
And, I mean, it's such a rich tapestry to play with. And knowing that there's guys like you that are going to be carrying that tradition into the future, that's super cool, man. Do you feel like any kind of responsibility to the music to carry that into the future?
Yeah, I mean, I think that one responsibility that we have is like, this music starting from, depends on who you ask where it started, bluegrass in general, but it's not older than probably 200 years,
Yeah.
The responsibility is like you take it and you make it new. You know what I mean? You put your own spin on it. And to sound like Tony Rice or to sound like Grisman or to sound like Garcia is amazing, and you should learn that stuff and take it in, but you shouldn't want to sound necessarily just like them, because that's sort of the duty to carry this forward, is making your own thing. Some people don't like that, some people don't like the whole taking bluegrass to a different standard. I think Billy Strings is a good example of that. He's one of our favorites. I think he's just amazing.
Yeah. Agreed.
What he's doing
Agreed.
like
We saw 2 nights here this past summer, and the first night was all traditional. And I was like, that was weird. I thought that there's like all these deadheads here, and and then the second night he just melted everybody's face in that
That's
place.
what he does.
And
he loves
insane.
it was
the ability to throw in all those traditional songs because he's got all these fans now, and almost just making them fall in love with that type of style, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And he is such a fan of music. Where Aaron pointed out, was it yesterday or today? You're like you're doing pretty good when Billy Strings is commenting on your guys' thread on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like he is so gracious and everything too, like respecting his fans, himself. Well, it's a lot like the whole community, like you guys are doing.
And also to what Drury was just saying about making it your own, that's exactly what Dog did. That's exactly what Garcia did. That's exactly what Billy did. And that's what we're all high on, is that. And you're absolutely right, man. Your responsibility is to take that thing and express it through yourself, because you know what, man? Nobody else is you guys. Nobody else has your experience. Nobody else knows the things you know. Nobody else can do what you can do like you can do it. That's it. You have your thing. So to express that is your job. You know what I mean? And I just have to say, like, from an older guy, to see you guys doing it is fucking exciting. Like, to see it happening.
They're dead. Yeah. Your guys' dead covers. Every dead cover I've heard of your guys' so far is amazing. You do it so good. Your voice, Drury. I mean, it just.
Who turned you guys onto the Dead?
My dad is a big Deadhead, okay. And I grew up on that sort of music.
I never grew up on the Dead listening to it until, I grew up with Drury, so that's kind of where I got it from. Listening, his dad kind of got me into the Dead, and you got me into the Dead. And then it was just one moment, it clicked for me. And dude, there's just some clips I found of Jerry playing that's just like, this is the most creative guy and most natural playing that I've ever heard in my life. Yeah. And it's just such the feeling that the music gives to you, that Grateful Dead music gives to you. It's like, I'll be having the worst day ever, and like some Dead song will come on shuffle, and it just makes me feel so much better. And it's the only type of music that really does that for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
A little bit of medicine, musical
agree.
medecin.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of us that share that with you, man. We feel like that too. I mean, it was over 30 years ago I went to my first Grateful Dead show, and after that show I didn't want to do anything else. I was like, I want to be here. I don't want to go back to work. I don't want to do anything else. Like, I'm following this around, and it's that.
And
feeling.
He did. He sold everything, bought a 32-foot international school bus, and took off on Dead tour.
I did.
Started selling grilled cheeses.
Yeah. We actually turned the front of the school bus was a small tattoo studio, and I was doing tattoos in the lots before the show.
That's awesome.
But it's all about that feeling, man, and just to be able to talk to you guys, and it's really cool to see the next generation of pickers coming, and you guys obviously have risen to the top really fast, and just keep those heads where they're at, man. You guys got good heads on your shoulders, and if there's ever anything we can do for you when you guys come out with an album, if you want to promote it here, you always got a place. And yeah, man, anything we can do to help you guys make it further.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much.
Yeah, that's very kind of y'all, and appreciate y'all giving us the chance to just come and speak with y'all and out of the blue, you know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we get to know you, man. You know, we want to get to know you. We want the people that are listening to get to know you. That way, when they go see your shows, they're stoked for you guys, and they've heard a little bit about you, so they know, you know, what kind of vibe you have. And I just wanted to say thank you too. Thank you for, you know, I think sometimes people can see following their dreams as maybe selfish, but it's the best thing you can do for the planet, because when you follow your dream, you're internally happy, and then that vibe goes out, and it just so happens that you guys are playing your emotions. So if you're playing on these high vibes, that is literally healing to the planet. So just by like literally doing what you're loving to do, you're helping. So just remember that when you're on stage, when the shit gets hard.
No pressure though.
When the booking is, annoying. No, just being yourself is pressure.
No. I'm just saying you gotta
I love that. She always gives the awesome like mom, like make you feel good shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's true because
it is.
you guys are, I have a 20-year-old son. I've got a 27-year-old daughter, and my advice to them is to have fun in life, because then it doesn't feel long and it doesn't feel arduous. Mm-hmm. And if you can have fun and do something that you love and like make other people happy, what else is there to do?
That's dope shit right there. Where can everybody out there go to find you guys, follow you, find out where your shows are and all that?
Well, we have a reputation of making very ridiculous Instagram videos before gigs. All sorts of things. So if you want to know where we're playing next, go follow us on Instagram. You can probably just look up the Mountain Grass Unit, but it's the_mountain_grass_unit. And we got a Facebook, same name. You can check us out on our website, mountaingrassunit.com. Go check us out on streaming platforms. We just put out an album last summer called Places I've Been.
You can pretty much find us anywhere on any sort of platform if you just search up our name or our individual names, like
right
TikTok.
on.
Before we go, I want to talk about the album just for a second. Is it all original stuff?
Yes.
The one we just released.
Oh, how many tracks?
I think 8, right?
7 or 8, yeah.
7 or 8, yeah.
8 and it's 29 minutes long. I know.
Wow, right on, Apple.
I've been listening to it. It's a perfect playlist for like a half. I mean, it's fucking great, guys.
Yeah.
Is it you guys that produced it, or did you go into the studio for this thing? How did this come about?
Yeah, so we played this gig a long time ago. We somehow got a connection to open up for Sam Bush, and the banjo player in that band, Scott Vestal, has a recording studio, and he got out there and played like Freeborn Man with us. And he's like, hey man, if y'all ever want to record, hit me up.
What?
And so we went to Scott's, and man, we've got to be really good friends with him. He's the best, and he hooks us up, and we recorded everything there.
He's the man.
Oh man.
It's so like, it's a cool environment when the engineer is like just laughing with you and having a good time. It's like, okay, like he's not being burdened by us being in here,
It's like no pressure, yeah.
Yeah.
Aww.
So you're just free to do your thing and create and have fun. Like Mel said.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's all. That's amazing. I have one last question. This is totally off topic of everything, but it goes back to something I heard. We were laughing about it the other night. What is it like? What is it? Stinky's Fish Camp?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What is Stinky's Fish Camp?
It's this bar in where's that? 38.
38. Yeah, it's pretty near Red Bar, the place that I was telling you about earlier.
In Florida.
Just that name, I just conjured an image of like, okay, tell us about that.
That was one of like our favorite gigs. I mean, we've never made more money in tips.
It was insane.
Our life.
It was insane. And I mean, we were at the beach, so it's like we're chilling out at the beach, and then we get to go do this gig at night, and they have the Stinky's Bait Shack, which we played, which is like, right next to the main restaurant, which is Stinky's Fish Camp. And the Bait Shack is cool. They have a house band that usually plays there, Longleaf Drive and Dread Clampett, which was this band that influenced us through festivals and things early on. And Sam Bush every once in a while pops in there and plays fiddle with Dread Clampett. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
So it's a spot. It sounds like that's a cool spot. Wow.
It's a great spot. You should, that and the Red Bar we played that weekend, and those were some, I don't know, Florida's awesome.
Florida's really cool.
Wild crowds
Florida's
down
crazy.
there, yeah, for sure. All right, guys. thank you so much for spending time with us, and
especially on a school night. Thank you for giving us your time. Your East Coast on the school night, and get your homework done.
Go to bed, boys. No, just kidding. Hey, I'll Drury, I'll throw my phone number in the emails chain that we're sharing back and forth, and let's stay in touch about Peach and when you guys come out here.
That sounds all great. Thank you so much, guys.
All right, guys. Have a great night, y'all.
On, guys.
All right, y'all.
Thank y'all so much.
Good night.
The future is in good hands, everybody. Fast hands too. I mean, what do you think, Mel?
I think a lot of things.
Let's hear some of them.
Some of them is, dang, with Berkeley. Berkeley is putting out some, like, the music scene.
Some would say that, yes.
And clearly not strictly Berkeley, but everybody that we talk to that has been touched by Berkeley somehow is a really thriving musician. And so based on a school's output, I would say that is an incredible top-notch school to be at.
Yeah, I mean, they're building a community on its own. The Berkeley alumni. We've talked to a lot of people
that have
been touched by Berkeley and gone there. And
I just think of like all the people that we've spoken to. They're like, "Oh yeah, we met while we were going to school at Berkeley."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's like obviously it's an incubator for musicians. Period of any kind.
And to be so demanding of, clearly academically, but then you have to play. And so if you have to play to get good, what other way to get good than by playing gigs?
Yeah.
Seriously, like you can only practice so much in your, bedrooms or, like out in the lawn or whatever. You got to like get in front of people and get scared and like be under pressure and like,
like you said
get
earlier,
people
like
stirred up,
stepping out of their comfort zone and getting on the ledge. And like they knew one thing, then you go there and like you say, you don't know what you're going to play. Just like dance school or anything, pretty much one style, and then you go and it's like, holy shit, I'm going to learn all these things now. Wait till just everything they're learning right now. Well, and they're already this good. Like, listen, the look on your when it's like, when we were in elementary school, then we got serious when we hit junior high. I saw Aaron's like, oh my God, oh man, if I could.
And that's incredible that young to be serious about.
Oh
that.
Yeah, well, serious.
And that's what I was like. I didn't get it out the right way, but like in my mind, growing up, I always felt like only older people were into bluegrass music.
Yeah,
it wasn't a young man's game.
That's what I
really
thought.
Was.
That's what most of what we saw too, like clips and stuff. I mean, like Jerry and Grissom. I mean, they were old and in the way, the stuff they did, and like that documentary, the Whites of Virginia.
You guys are older and you're into it.
Oh yeah,
but so that's
what we're saying. Mostly older people. We had to wait till we get older to get into it.
No, but you're not wrong. It's just not exclusively.
Right, and to see young guys like that not only like are talented and can do it, but love it and understand it and like are taking care of it and making sure that it goes into the future through their expression. And
yeah, that was a very astute answer that he gave. And to understand that I mean, and maybe again, it's maybe about the teaching in Berkeley. Maybe it's something that they've learned that like, you've got to kind of own your piece of music, even if it's a piece that you've heard before. When it's in your hands or in your voice, it's your interpretation at that point. If somebody walked in and heard you play whatever you were playing, even if it was a piece of music that you didn't originally do, that person would be like, you played that music. Yeah. You know what I mean? It would belong to you in that moment. Yeah. And so you have to honor your own self by owning it and like making your voice and doing the best that you can.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really cool to be able to like see that they're going to be successful. Like you can see it when you watch them play, like, well, on a wider scale. I mean, they're already successful.
That's what I'm saying.
But like on grand scale, those guys are gonna be out there doing it. And it's cool to be able to see it now and it's this good in its infancy. Do you get what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's already as good as the stuff that's out there now. I can't imagine 10 years from now what that's going to be.
Then you add the bond of them being friends since
Their
childhood.
their
all
experiences on the road, and their
growing up in a small
college.
town. And I mean, it's amazing.
And
when you find a musical partner, man, that is like finding a soulmate. It really is. Like the more we talk to people, and bring them up again, but the Inspector Clouseau, Laurent and Matthew, they were like musical little buddies, growing up together.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these guys are so fortunate to find guys, gals, whoever out there, people out there that are able to find your musical partner. Kudos to you, man.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I think it's like that. Inspector Clouseau and these guys and a whole lot of other musicians.
Yeah, so many different ones.
Musicians can come out of anywhere, but it seems to me like smaller towns with really tight-knit communities produce some amazing shit. Like these guys started in first grade. They're not from the big city. You know what I mean? It can come from anywhere, but it seems like a lot of these small communities like that with Inspector Clouseau on the documentary, it's part of the heritage going back hundreds of years. That's what they did. They're gathering around at night and entertaining each other, singing and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of rich heritage, and
I'm really, really, really excited for them, and excited for all of you out there listening to get to know them if you don't already know their music and see what we're talking about.
Get on the Mountain Grass unit ride.
It is something special, man, and look out, future.
They play with like such beauty and grace and tenacity. The way like you said, with watching Luke plays when he's like strumming and then he like hits at home, like it's like a gunslinger. Kind of like Burl said, those are my gunslingers out there. It's like just, oh man,
love it.
Yeah, so if you don't know them, now you will. And congratulations to the boys. We'll catch up with you, Sam.
Yeah, definitely. And Mel, let's do a new segment. We'll call it Mel's Advice at the end of the show. What's today's Mel's advice at the end of the show?
Today's advice is to get your vitamin D levels checked. Vitamin D is very important with your immunity, with your absorption of nutrients, with mood, and it is important for you to know that you're deficient so you can fix it, because it's an easy fix. It's not a fast fix, but it's an easy one. So make sure you get that checked out, because when you do, if it's deficient, you start feeling all good all of a sudden, and you're like, holy shit, I didn't realize I was so sluggish. And so just so you know, mine was low, got it checked, working on getting it up, slowly feeling the bump back in my energy level.
Would you say that you had a little bit of brain fog as well?
I think that was, in hindsight, my biggest problem that I didn't know that I had.
Same.
I didn't realize how foggy my brain was until I started to regain. And
until you were unfoggy?
Until I was unfoggy. So seriously, get your vitamin D levels checked, because it's important.
And that is this week's edition,
Sound advice.
The first edition of Mel's Advice at the end of the show. All right? Yeah, go follow the Mountain Grass unit. Follow Luke and Drury and all the guys. And
you know why they're called the Mountain Grass Unit?
I do not.
I was not going to ask about it, because they're from Mount Brook. So it's mountain bluegrass is what they play. And the Tony Rice unit is who their favorite. And when you name a band a unit instead of a trio, it's open for growth and for anybody to join at any time and come and go.
Oh.
Yeah. So Mountain Grass Unit.
All right.
I love that.
So everybody's welcome to join. And then
what a beautiful thought.
And that is the first edition of Apple Knows Shit at the end of the show.
Yeah. Apple. Yeah.
So we wouldn't be a unit, we'd be a trio.
This would be a trio. Well,
no, we're a trio with
special
guests. Special guests.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not looking for a fourth chair or fifth chair.
No.
We have sit-ins.
Yeah.
Little jams. Little jammies.
All right.
I keep. There's 4 of us. Darwin's over there holding it down, literally.
He comes in here and immediately passes out.
He makes sure the pillow doesn't go
Does
anywhere.
not float up to the ceiling. Listen, here's the thing. We'll be back on Monday with more stuff and things. Another edition of the No Simple Road Weekly Rewind, brought to you in partnership with the Edible Beats out of Denver, Colorado. It's one of our favorite things to do is to do the weekly rewind. And if you haven't listened to one yet, probably should go listen to, I think my favorite that we've done so far is the one we did yesterday. So it'll be number 17. And we had a fabulous conversation about the, what do you call it?
Super Bowl halftime show, and psychedelic, and just all kinds of things.
The clinical nature, or the what do you call
implications of bringing psychedelics into the clinic.
Thank you, Mel. Jesus.
Very, very well said.
So anyway, until next time, everybody, take care of each other, smile at a stranger, safety third, hydrate, and if you
love yourself,
well, do that. That's
good.
That's a given. But here's the thing.
That's not a given.
That's not a given.
That's not a given.
Some people spend too much time worried about others and not themselves.
Or some people don't like or are mean to themselves.
Really?
And that's not nice.
Yes.
Why would you be mean? Well, I guess I've been mean to myself.
Do that.
I was really mean to myself.
Mean to yourself in thought, that's the worst way. But
you're so stupid.
Or you could be like, no, you're not going to eat then. If you already ate that, nope, now you're not going to have nothing.
Punishing yourself.
Yeah,
wow.
You can do all
don't punish yourself.
Yeah, don't be mean to yourself.
Okay, there it is. Love you guys. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Well as a fear, we've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A = A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hey listeners, I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
Hi, this is Paul Phelps.
And this is Monica Strutt.
And we're from the Daily Music Business Podcast. We're joined by a number of other really great hosts in creating daily content with great advice for independent musicians just like you.
That's right. We put out episodes daily on all topics from music marketing to branding, advice on signing with a manager and label, and anything else you need to up-level the business side of your music career. We've got it covered.
Subscribe to the Daily Music Business Podcast today on your favorite podcast catcher.
Subscribe today to the Daily Music Business Podcast on your favorite podcast platform.